Hello. What we have here is we have the Surface Pro X on the left and we have the Surface Pro 2017 or Surface Pro 5 on the right. I am going to do a performance comparison between these two. Now I have gone and set both on battery saver at the moment, so they should be roughly equivalent in the way they're managing their power and CPU, and I have set it to both using a 4K canvas and both using an airbrush set to its absolute maximum stupid settings of 100% hardness, which is pretty much a Photoshop hard brush, probably set to like a gap of 0 or something really weird. So this is like maximum non-realistic settings that you can get, but it should illustrate the different performance characteristics between the Surface Pro X and the Surface Pro 5. So I've set it all to black. I've set the maximum size as well to 500, and I think we'll just do like run one against the another, try and get it synchronized as much as possible. It won't be exactly the same time because I've got one hand on the camera, of course, and one hand here, but I'll do it as fast as I possibly can. So here we go. That's going down, and that's going down. As you can see, the one on the right is faster. It's overtaken Surface Pro X. Off and down through. A little bit faster, that, isn't it? But to be perfectly honest, I don't really notice the performance issues when I'm painting because I'm never going to be doing this anyway. And if I am going to use a brush, it's going to be the oil brush, which is pretty efficient on big sizes, when I'm using ArtRage, of course, and even the paint roller. So for example, on here, in a typical painting scenario, that's at 500, and I'll be painting like this. And I'm not getting any, there's no perceptual lagginess or anything like that. So in a real life situation, but you can just see the slightly difference in performance between one and the other. But as what I always would like to come down to, in a real world situation, I can use this Surface Pro X. I'm not really seeing any issue, unless you go crazy like this, when you go, then you'll see a bit of a lag. But who's going to do that in real life when they're painting? This is a 4K canvas. It's roughly what I use. And then this is the biggest brush, and it's fine, it's usable, it's perfectly adequate for what I want to do. And like I said, if I want to really slap things down, I'll then use something like this, which is the paint roller, which when set to a maximum size is, look how big that is. How often am I going to be doing that anyway? It's a little bit laggy, but that's fine as far as I'm concerned. Okay, let's test that paint roller over here and see what we get. So that's exactly the same settings, and we will put it to be size 500, and let's put it to a similar color. Let's see what it does. So there's no doubt that does feel snappier. There's still some lag on it, but in real world situations, I probably don't really care. And for the extra levels of battery life that I get out of this, and the extra screen real estate, and just the general way it looks, how good it looks compared to the Surface Pro 5. I mean, the Surface Pro 5 is absolutely fine, but this is nice. Okay, there we go. That's just a bit of an indication of performance differences and how typically in real world life you would use an art application, and whether it actually affects anything using the Surface Pro X.